Thank you all for being here. You'll hear in a little bit about our public safety and health efforts here in the city of Boston. But before I dive in, I do just want to start again with how devastating and how much pain I know our communities are in, and that we're standing with our neighbors in Providence and at Brown University, as well as with the city of Sydney and the Jewish community there and Jewish neighbors around the world, and certainly here in the city of Boston. It is unthinkable that we live in a world where you don't even have time to process one major horrific incident of violence before the next takes place. And all the more reason why it is important for us to focus on safety, to double down on community members knowing that they can trust and be in community together. So I just wanted to give our deepest condolences and are continuing to hold those communities in our thoughts today. We're here at the West Roxbury campus of Boston EMS, the training facility that we were proud to cut the ribbon on not too long ago. Thank you to Chief Jim Hooley for hosting us here at Boston EMS, and our partners at the Boston BPPA EMS division, our labor partners here, and all of those who serve and who make good use of this facility. We're also joined by all of our public safety agencies and the Boston Public Health Commission. So you'll hear in a little bit from Dr. Isaac Yablo, Senior Advisor for Community Safety and Director of the Office of Violence Prevention at BPHC, from Commissioner Michael Cox of the Boston Police Department, Commissioner Paul Burke of the Boston Fire Department, Chief Jim Hooley of Boston EMS, Dr. Basola Ojukutu of Boston Public Health Commission, and then we'll ask our wonderful partner and representing the City Council, Councilor Ben Weber, to close us out. So thank you again, and welcome to our state-of-the-art EMS training facility and new two-bay ambulance garage here in West Roxbury. Investments like these have helped make Boston the safest major city in the nation. And our teams every day get the training here, as well as the tools and equipment and supports they need to be at their best. Today, I'm proud to stand beside the public safety and health leaders who have made Boston a shining example for the rest of the country. And we're here to share a brief report back on the public safety work that's been happening across the city, from our fire department and Boston EMS to Boston Police and the Boston Public Health Commission. Boston is safe because these teams work so hard and because they work so well together, both within City Hall and across our city departments, and also, more importantly, with our community members. It is the work of these teams and the members that they represent, our city workforce, who make sure that our residents can enjoy block parties and ball games, parades and parks, fields and festivals. This year, thanks to all of our public safety teams, we welcomed more than 30,000 racers for the Boston Marathon, celebrated our communities on St. Patrick's Day and throughout Caribbean Carnival, and honored the ordinary people who kicked off an extraordinary revolution. Next summer, we are headed into even more festivities, and our teams are preparing already and have been for months alongside all of our partners to ensure that Boston is hosting large-scale events with the same level of diligence, attention to detail, and preparation that we always have. Being a home for everyone means being there not just during the good times, though, but all the time. It means showing up for families even when they feel the ground beneath them is falling through and when they're having the worst days and worst moments of their lives. It's because of the care, the hard work, and the empathy of these teams that Boston is the safest major city in the country. So over the last year, our public safety teams responded to hundreds of thousands of incidents: firefighters rushing into burning buildings, EMTs providing care after traffic collisions, police officers putting themselves in danger to keep all of us safe. We took 673 guns off the streets, responded to 5,000 low acuity behavioral health calls, making sure patients receive the right care at the right time by diverting them from emergency rooms to community care solutions. We kept families together by keeping tensions from boiling over, by saving lives, and by being fully embedded in our communities. This year, we also expanded Boston's community safety team, which is housed in and supported through Boston Public Health Commission's Office of Violence Prevention, and has invested even more into the life-changing and life-saving work that is done there. Boston awarded more than 120 EMT course scholarships to eliminate financial barriers to becoming EMS professionals and public servants. And across the city, 268 recruits graduated from these respective academies. They swore their oaths and joined our public safety department's long-standing tradition of service. This is what it means to be a home for everyone and to be fighting every day for the residents in every single neighborhood to live in the safest city in America, the best city for families, and to earn that trust with our actions 24 hours a day. Our families deserve public safety teams and public health resources that they can count on. And so I want to say thank you to all of our first responders, Boston Fire, Boston Police, Boston EMS. Thank you for what you do every single day, 24 hours a day, and thank you to your families who serve right alongside you. We are so grateful for all of our city workers, especially at this time of year as we're celebrating and reflecting in what it means to get through an entire year, to look to the year ahead, and to share the holiday spirit and be in community with everyone. All of the festivities that we are proud to take part of require a lot of work and require a lot of preparation from these teams here to make sure that everyone is safe across the city. Now, before I pass it over to Dr. Yablo, one more time in Spanish. Buenos días y gracias. Hoy estoy orgullosa de estar al lado de los líderes de la seguridad pública que han hecho de Boston un ejemplo brillante para el resto del país. Boston es una ciudad segura porque sus equipos trabajan juntos. Se aseguran de que nuestros residentes pueden disfrutar de fiestas de barrio y juegos de pelota, desfiles y parques, campos y festivales, todos sin preocupaciones. Pero ser un hogar para todos significa estar ahí no solo durante los buenos momentos, sino a todas horas. Significa estar ahí para nuestras familias cuando sienten que el suelo está cediendo debajo de ellos. Nuestros trabajadores de seguridad pública están ahí para nuestros residentes en los peores días de sus vidas. Y es gracias a su cuidado por nuestra ciudad y su empatía por nuestros vecinos que Boston es la ciudad más segura del país. Este año, nuestros equipos de seguridad pública respondieron a cientos de miles de incidentes. Bomberos corriendo hacia edificios con incendios, paramédicos que brindan atención después de colisiones de tráfico y policía poniéndose en peligro para mantenernos a salvo. Sacamos 673 armas de las calles y mantuvimos a las familias unidas, evitando que las tensiones se desbordaran. Este año también ampliamos nuestro equipo de seguridad comunitaria, trasladándolos a la Oficina de Prevención a la Violencia en la Comisión de Salud Pública, invirtiendo más en su trabajo que cambia y salva vidas. Otorgamos más de 120 becas de cursos de paramédicos para eliminar las barreras financieras para los futuros paramédicos. Y en toda la ciudad, 278 reclutas se graduaron de sus respectivas academias, juraron sus juramentos y se unieron a la larga tradición de servicio de nuestros departamentos de seguridad pública. Esto es lo que significa ser la ciudad más segura de los Estados Unidos, para ser un hogar para todos y la mejor ciudad para las familias. Así que quiero dar la gracia a todos nuestros bomberos, policía y paramédicos, y a todos desde la Oficina de Prevención de la Violencia por ganarse la confianza de Boston. Thank you all for your service, and I will pass it on to Dr. Isaac Yablo of the Boston Public Health Commission.
Thank you so much, Mayor, and good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank Chief Hooley for welcoming us to this amazing space, and thank you to all of our public safety partners and public health practitioners that are in the room. My name is Isaac Yablo, Senior Advisor for Community Safety, and as of June of this year, the Director of the Office of Violence Prevention within our Public Health Commission. And as the Mayor mentioned earlier this year, we merged the Community Safety Team into the Office of Violence Prevention and that merger has been successful. We have expanded the work of the various offices within the office, and I want to talk about that now. So over the past year, our Domestic, Sexual, and Gender-Based Violence Prevention Initiative expanded cross-sector training and collaboration, reaching hundreds of participants across education, community, and service provider sectors. They also launched a training for hairstylists and barbers to make sure that they recognize signs of domestic violence and human trafficking in partnership with the Office of Women's Advancement, InnoPsych, and BeautyLink. Additionally, this initiative collaborated with the City of Cambridge to co-host a convening for Title IX providers and is partnering with programs like We Are Better Together and the Massachusetts Coalition to Prevent Gun Violence to explore the intersection of community gun violence and domestic violence. Our VIP initiative, our Violence Intervention and Prevention Initiative, has shifted from focusing solely on 5 communities to a citywide focus so that more residents are being met where they're at and that we're addressing needs more holistically. Our Community Healing and Response Network, formerly known as our Neighborhood Trauma Teams, shifted to a citywide focus and is supporting multiple families in recovery, long-term, and short-term care, and is building out current data capacity. The network has also begun crafting a strategy to ensure that survivors of violence maintain the same level of high-quality care no matter where they are in their recovery journey. Our CBTI training program, the Capacity Building and Training Initiative, trained hundreds of service providers, including youth workers, housing providers, family advocates, nurses, and trauma-informed and equitable approaches across the city. Additionally, they partnered with the city and community organizations to ensure that their services are more responsive to community needs and that workers impacted by trauma are also being supported. And lastly, certainly not least, our Life Course Health Unit has been and will continue to focus on the individuals that are most intimately connected to community violence, particularly involving firearms. Earlier this year, we also announced the investment of over $1 million into our long-term plan to end violence, which serves as the core for much of the work that we do. And as we approach the new year, we are reflecting on that investment. $250,000 to youth stipends, $100,000 to our Domestic, Sexual, and Gender-Based Violence Initiative, $70,000 to our internal training and evaluation infrastructure, and more. We've supported over 40 community events and supported over 100 different community-based organizations to have events in their communities, the block parties that the mayor referenced. As we look into the new year, we will continue focusing on secondary and tertiary prevention, but the main goal will be primary prevention, preventing the violence from happening in the first place. That is what we are going to primarily focus on. That is what we are going to be asking our community partners to be focusing on, primary prevention, preventing the violence from occurring in the first place. And with that, I will turn it over to my colleague and, in my opinion, the best police commissioner in the nation, Michael Cox.
Good morning, everybody. Boston Police Department, I just want to start off by saying we stand with the Boston University community and their families, as well as the campus and local law enforcement and federal law enforcement working there. Locally, we work closely on a daily basis with the police forces that keep our colleges and universities safe in Boston, and we'll continue to support them and the students and faculty who call Boston home. Out of abundance of caution due to the incident in Australia, we've increased certainly our visibility around Jewish institutions around our city and others as deemed appropriate. We will continue to do that as the circumstances dictate. The Boston Police Department continues to rely on community policing as our most valued partner in public safety in the city. Community policing is about building partnership and trust and collaboration to certainly address the issues of the day in our city. In 2025, it's been a challenging year, but together with certainly the mayor's help and support and our other city partners, public safety continues to make progress in our areas of crime. Thank you, Mayor, for your leadership and support of and all the resources that we have in order to do this job. Going into the year, after receiving record low firearm violence numbers in 2024, the Boston Police Department has doubled our efforts in community policing with a focus on deterrence, achieving similar low levels this year once again. Year to date, the number of shooting victims and incidents of gunfire in the city are both currently at historic lows. down for more than 30% compared to our 5-year averages. In comparison to last year's 67-year low in homicide rates in the city's history, we have had an increase. Although we don't know what the final number would be, currently we're at 31 homicides year to date in comparison to 24 last year. This year represents a 16, with that in mind, this year still represents a 16% decrease from our 5-year average and the lowest number in the last 20 years, but for the 67-year low that I made mention to. Retail theft is an issue in our city. While working to sustain lower levels of violence, we've actually made retail theft an increased priority within the city. This focus includes the growth of our Safe Shopping initiative, which we launched last year with our partners in the retail community, as well as the Suffolk County DA Kevin Hayden's office. These efforts have yielded a 113% increase in arrests and retail theft in 2025, as well as a substantial increase in timely, more detailed reporting from the retailers. This increased reporting supports Boston Police Department's ability to address repeat, violent, and high-volume offenders, with the ultimate goal of keeping shoppers and retailers safe. We're also focusing more on organized retail theft, which is part of the reason why this number has been increasing over the years. Last month, the BPD hosted its first community CompStat meeting, retail community CompStat meeting, bringing together approximately 50 retail partners for a briefing and discussion in these efforts. We're working with the retail community each week, and we are grateful for the collaborations and information that they're sharing with us. I mentioned community CompStat in talking about retail theft. In 2023, the Boston Police Department launched the first community CompStat meetings. For many years, our police department, as well as many others, have come together to meet for internal meetings to figure out how to deploy resources to address crime and fear crime in the area. It helps us identify trends and to do a better job of utilizing resources and keeping our residents safe. To expand the awareness of crime data and trends in criminality to residents we serve, the Boston Police created the Community CompStat in 2022 with our first meeting in 2023. And as important as sharing information is during these meetings, it's been even more important to listen to residents, to learn what their concerns are, and to ascertain what their priorities are to increase public safety by all of us being in it together. This year, we've ramped up the frequency of the meetings. Since the initiative began, we've hosted over 23 of these across the police districts with community, faith leaders, and now with our retail community. Post-event surveys indicate that nearly 90% of the attendees leave feeling more confident in the police and more comfortable interacting with our department. Additionally, meetings are planned for 2026 as we continue to grow the initiative. Our goal is to have all our community presentations in this format. Our offices continue to prioritize community policing by genuinely interacting with our residents. This year, our offices attended over 1,400 community meetings, hosted more than 160 coffee with the cops, and conducted over 2,600 meet and greet events throughout the city. This year, we've also focused our efforts on countering both crime and quality of life issues in the downtown area and Mass and Cass area, Molina Cass Boulevard area as well. Around downtown, overall violent crime declined 24% this year, and directed patrols in this area have increased 31% compared to 2024. Officers have made 48% more arrests, including 30% more drug arrests in these areas. Additionally, quality of life calls have declined by 36%. In the Mass and Cass area, Molina Cass area, quality of life calls and service decreased by 10%, and arrests have increased by 54%. Total violent crime in Mass and Cass area decreased 8%, and property crime decreased 10%. Those numbers are year to date compared to 2024, and we have a few more weeks left to go. Finally, there's been an issue that's certainly been something for residents concerned is the city has been challenged by issues involving reckless operations for motor scooters. We've heard about this issue from the community meetings, and our statistics show that this is not only a quality of life issue, but a traffic safety issue. And these motor scooters have been used in a number of violent incidents throughout the city. This year, we've increased the focus of educating operators regarding registration requirements where appropriate and seizing and towing vehicles that do not follow the rules. To this date, our officers have seized over 840 motor scooters, including 160 from downtown area in 2025. This has increased by 22% in seizures compared to 2024. As I close, I especially want to thank the members of the Boston Police Department who work hard to keep our residents safe and our partners that work with us on a daily basis. They're doing a great job in addressing crime and other public safety issues at this time of year when so many families depend on us. So that wraps up the yearly summary, and up next will be Paul Burke, Boston Fire Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning, everybody, and happy holidays. The Boston Fire Department continues to provide the highest level of public safety to all residents and visitors to our city. We respond daily to a full spectrum of emergencies that impact our communities. So far this year, our firefighters have answered close to 100,000 calls, a reflection of their readiness, professionalism, and ongoing commitment to serving every neighborhood in our city. While many residents see the visible work of extinguishing building fires, the Boston Fire Department responds to many other types of emergencies. Our firefighters also respond to high-angle rescues, water rescues, medical emergencies, hazardous material incidents, construction accidents, motor vehicle accidents, MBTA emergencies, and countless other situations where the safety of our residents is in jeopardy. To date this year, the Boston Fire Department has responded to more than 3,700 fires of all types, including approximately 300 building fires, many requiring multiple alarms, and nearly 200 vehicle fires, including a growing number involving electric vehicles, which present new challenges for fire departments across the nation. In addition, our firefighters have responded to 35,000 medical calls, underscoring the critical role of the city's emergency medical response. Although even one tragedy is too many, we are grateful that the number of fire-related fatalities has declined to 1 this year, down from 5 last year. This progress reflects the department's relentless prevention efforts and its dedication to ensuring that every resident has the knowledge and tools needed to stay safe. Those efforts extend deeply into the community through the Fire Prevention Division and Fire Education Unit. Our firefighters work with the schools, senior citizens, and community groups to teach cooking safety, fire safety, and emergency preparedness. They regularly provide fire extinguisher demonstrations and partner closely with the American Red Cross, distributing more than 200 free smoke and carbon monoxide detectors this year alone. The department also offers free detector sensors, free detectors for seniors and low-income homeowners, along with bed shakers, alarms for residents who are hearing impaired. During this holiday season, we remind residents to practice fire safety procedures with your decorations. Always keep your live tree 3 feet away from a heat source such as air ducts, fireplaces, or space heaters. Examine your extension cords and holiday lights for signs of damage. Frayed electric cords should be disposed of. And please water your tree daily. Recognizing that preparedness saves lives, our department has also helped families and businesses develop evacuation plans, reminding all of us of one simple life-saving rule: always have 2 ways out. This has also been a historic milestone for our department this year. We celebrated the graduation of our first recruit class to include graduates of the Fire Cadet Program. The class also featured the largest group of women firefighters in our history. Their accomplishments reflect the department's commitment to building a diverse, highly trained fire service for the next generation. The future of the Boston Fire Department and its mission to protect the residents of Boston is bright. This year, we placed 2 new fireboats into service, greatly enhancing our capability along Boston's busy waterfront, with a 3rd new fireboat scheduled to arrive next year. Our training division continues to focus heavily on adopting new technology and practices that remain at the forefront of modern fire service operations, thereby ensuring our firefighters are equipped, prepared, and empowered to meet the evolving challenges of a growing and dynamic city. The men and women of the Boston Fire Department continue to set a high standard of operational excellence and professionalism. Their commitment plays a vital role in ensuring that Boston remains one of the safest and most resilient cities in the country. It's my honor to introduce James Hooley, the head of EMS.
Thanks, Commissioner. Morning, everyone. Morning, Mayor. Welcome back here. And Dr. Jakudu, who's been here several times as well. All right, thanks. Welcome to our ambulance station and training center, which are both located here. Upstairs right now, we do have a recruit class in progress, so we have a cadet program going on as well. So it sounds quiet down here, but if anybody wants to take a look, if you didn't already, just mention it. We'll give you a guided tour. Boston EMS is the busiest municipal EMS system in New England. So far in 2025, we're on track to respond to more than 140,000 incidents. To this date, we've provided care and transported over 86,000 residents and visitors here in Boston. On average, our members respond to nearly 400 incidents every single day, and behind each one of these numbers is the story of lives served, care delivered, and hope restored. Since Mayor Wu took office, Boston EMS has added 41 new EMT positions. We've certainly filled more than that. We had a lot of vacancies a few years ago, but those were additional spots that were very badly needed. In 2025, we awarded more than 120 EMT course scholarships to support the next generation of EMTs. And that was important because services across the Commonwealth were having a hard time finding EMTs. There just weren't enough if you ran an ad, posted, and tried to recruit. So what Boston did was begin to offer training across the community, across the city, try to attract more people to bring in the skills, the language skills, everything that we need, and give them good jobs. Our programs like our cadet program and our partnership with the Worker Empowerment Cabinet have removed financial barriers and created clear, supported pathways into public service. This year, we welcomed 102 new uniformed members to our department. That's including the folks who are upstairs today. This work is more than just hiring. With the new positions and the filled vacancies, Boston EMS has added additional round-the-clock ambulance in Dorchester, which was critical to help with the loss of the Kearney Hospital, because every patient that gets transported now in the Dorchester community, which is our largest area of the city, as far as call volume and population-wise, everyone has to be transported out of Dorchester. So you are always having to backfill and replace up in there. And we've also been able to expand our overnight coverage by adding additional shifts to the night shift. Our people are our priority. We are committed to making EMS a long and sustainable career. That's something that our residents benefit from directly through the expertise and experience of our clinicians bring to the field and to our dispatch operations. This year alone, we awarded 14 scholarships to EMTs who are learning to become certified as paramedics, who can then sit for promotion. Also this year, we've promoted 20 members to a variety of needed positions across the department. To back that growth, we've invested in the resources we rely on every day. 14 new ambulances hit the streets this year. They've been custom designed with direct input from our field providers, with more coming in 2026. Construction is well underway and on schedule for the new two-bay Boston EMS station in the South Boston waterfront. That's an area where call volume has doubled in the past decade, and it will be open in time for a very busy summer in Boston, as the mayor has already pointed out. We are modernizing our many essential tools. We're going into the last phase of a $21 million, I think it's up $2 radio infrastructure improvement across our system. And teams are also equipped for many of the needs and challenges for tomorrow. Software that we can put on to aid in translation from scenes or from individual patients. Boston EMS is rooted in tradition, but we're always moving forward. We lead not only in how care is delivered, and we remain committed to the equitable delivery and provision of care to all, wherever we meet them and whatever their circumstances. The department is also leading innovation with our mobile integrated health program that diverts behavioral health patients from emergency departments and connects them to community care. Our Alternative Response Unit, or ARM, was the first of its kind in the Commonwealth and provides an opportunity for a person to be immediately transported directly to a behavioral health or mental health program, and to date, over 3,000 patients have been served. This year, the ARM team was expanded to 7 days a week with 16 hours of coverage per day. Beyond emergency medical response, Boston EMS is committed to protecting the health and safety of all Bostonians through education and outreach. So far this year, we've helped over 170 families safely install child care seats, and we've delivered more than 68 CPR and AED certification classes across the city. Our Special Operations Division has led our medical coverage at nearly 1,000 events this year, and now as we turn our attention to First Night, our members are also preparing to help Boston safely host and celebrate Boston 250 events, FIFA, World Cup, and the return of the tall ships. We train and prepare to respond to and provide care in multi-threat environments, all hazard environments, and that's alongside and coordinated training with our public safety partners. We all, as always, will be ready to respond whenever and wherever we're needed. I want to thank each and every one of our members for their commitment to service, their unwavering dedication. Because of them, we are entering 2026 strong, growing, committed, and as always, to delivering exceptional, equitable, life-saving care to every person and in every neighborhood that we serve. And it's my pleasure to introduce City Councilor Ben Weber. I'm sorry. I'm out of order. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming to our facility. I'm Dr. Basolo Jakutu, the Commissioner of Public Health for the City of Boston. And I wanted to start by emphasizing that public safety is a public health issue. As you heard from Dr. Yablo, we are integrating and strengthening our work within the Office of Violence Prevention, really thinking about not just prevention, but really how do we heal within our communities when violence has occurred. So I want to thank our staff within the Office of Violence Prevention. I also want to thank our EMS staff. As Chief Hooley already mentioned, they are working 24/7 to ensure health and wellness throughout our city. I think it's particularly important to emphasize that it's not just about urgent care, not just about emergency care. It is about education. It is about navigating our residents around our city to primary care and to other services that they should access and deserve. So I want to mention two additional public safety issues that are of concern here in our city, particularly thinking about the weather outside. We have people who are homeless, who are transiently housed, who are unsheltered in our city. We're encouraging everyone to come indoors. Here in the city of Boston, we support the largest adult emergency shelters at 112, Southampton Street, and Woods Mullen, where we serve upwards of 650 people per night. We are always open, as I said, 24/7. We don't turn people away, and we're really encouraging people to come inside because it isn't safe for people to be outside in this weather. I would also add that I know a lot of people out there are interested in helping out, in donating, in trying to help people who are on the street. We are not encouraging people to stop on the streets, particularly in the Mass and Cass area where it can be of concern to stop on the street. We are really wanting people to, if they want to help or want to donate, you can always call the Mayor's Health Line. We also offer places to bring gently used clothing, other things that you want to donate at our shelters, as well as at our engagement center in business hours. So please utilize those services. We know a lot of people care and do want to support. I think the last thing I want to say is that we are entering the height of respiratory viral season right now, and a lot of people are sick, and we want to make sure from the health perspective that we're not only protecting ourselves, but that we're protecting our communities. That is another part of public safety and the intersection between public safety and public health. We are offering vaccination clinics. Please get vaccinated. It's the information in terms of the vaccination clinics is available at boston.gov/vaccine. You can get your flu shot, you can get your COVID-19 vaccine, and you don't need to have insurance to do so. So all of these issues are part of, I think, the incredible amount of work that our city is doing to keep our residents safe. And I, again, want to thank all of the work that's being done by much of our staff at the Boston Public Health Commission, as well as Boston Police Department and everybody else within our city government who are working to make sure that our residents are well taken care of. So I'm going to pass the floor over to Councilor Weber. Please.
Okay, hi. My name is Ben Weber. I'm the District 6 City Councilor. Yesterday, I woke up already concerned about the horrible shooting at Brown University, and then learning about the horrific events in Sydney, Australia. I thought it was more important than ever for the Jewish community in Boston to be able to gather and celebrate the first night of Hanukkah. I was proud to stand with the mayor at two menorah lightings yesterday in Boston Common and in Copley Square, and just knowing that the Jewish community could gather safely in Boston to celebrate the first night of Hanukkah, was comforting, and knowing that ability to gather safely is because of the approach of the mayor and her team to public safety in Boston, and knowing that these folks here have the backs of the Jewish community and all Bostonians. So I just want to thank the mayor and everyone here for that yesterday, and for making our city a safe place for everyone going forward through the holiday season and next year. So thank you.
Time for a question or two?
Mayor, this was referenced briefly, but when it comes to the amount of college campuses that we have in our city, how important is it to be having those active shooter plans in place and conversations? Then maybe for Commissioner Cox, how often are those conversations revisited?
Yeah, unfortunately, we see this happen all too frequently, and it is becoming part of the standard preparation that every large institution has to undertake. So I know in Boston there have been multiple efforts on a regular basis to ensure that we're all coordinated across city government with all of the different agencies, and as well as our other law enforcement partners at other levels of government, and with our community institutions. But I'll pass it over to the chiefs to say a word.
No, as I said before, Boston does have a lot of colleges and universities, and we work daily with them to help support them. Most of the colleges and universities have their own security and police forces, but we share information, vice versa, around ways in which they can stay safe and we can stay connected. So, as a city, we are fairly well connected with all our colleges and universities. But as always, that's something we want to work on and make sure that people, see something, say something, whether it's on their campus, to local police. The public is the number one person that needs to be vigilant and around safety and sharing that information with us. So, thank you.
So these college departments, do they do interagency training with your department?
So we do with some, and then. But with others, maybe not as much. The reality is they have their own a lot of them have their own law enforcement agencies, and they are, quite robust in their training and what they do, particularly around, active shooter and things of that nature. I should not be speaking to what colleges and universities do on their campus. You can reach out to them individually, but the fact is I know quite a few of the head of the agencies and agencies in general, and they are quite professional and well prepared for almost anything. And that's the part where we share both data and plans around a lot of different things other than mass shootings in general. We do speak with our colleges and university quite often.
So Brown University shooter is still at large. It's not clear whether they're still in Rhode Island. How is BPD ensuring Bostonians are safe?
So, the question for Brown probably is better suited for, both the officials and local police enforcement in Rhode Island. The fact is that here, we do what we always do. We partner with our community, asking people if they see something, say something. If something doesn't seem right, particularly, people who are with firearms and things of that nature, to let us know almost immediately. Public safety it takes the public to be involved for us to actually do our jobs well. And we are a city that's been practicing it for a while, and we're getting better each year. So I'm confident that if something, were to occur here in our city, that it would be reported quickly, hopefully proactively before something ever happens. But as always, if someone does not feel comfortable around something, call us.
Is there any reason to think that this person could have come to Boston? Have you received any tips?
We have no information that that particular shooter or any known threats to the area right now in general. Thank you.
And I'll add, I know coordination has been happening at the state level between the governors and as well as at the city level. We've offered our full support and any partnership or collaboration that would be helpful to Mayor Smiley and the Providence community as well. Great. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Happy holidays.